You know, what I've realized is that things happen to us for a reason. Everything has a purpose. And we go through pain and suffering, like things that happen to us, traumas, is meant for us to learn how to forgive. And a lot of us bypass that step of forgiveness. And in bypassing the step of forgiveness, we hold on to the pain. And so what happened yesterday for some of us, what happened last year for some of us, what happened 2 years ago, what happened 10 years ago, what happened 20 years ago, some of us are still holding on to that trauma because we haven't learned the skill of forgiveness. And so God wants to turn that pain into purpose, or like, I don't want to say pleasure, but like in the end, when you learn how to forgive, you're not a victim to the pain you've suffered. You become, I don't know, it's like you elevate to another level because forgiveness is like an elevation tool, a tool for elevation, consciously, morally, because the more you forgive is the more you learn, like, you are that person as well. Like, you need the forgiveness more than that other person, because there are times where you've done the same thing. It may not be to the same extent, but like when you learn how to forgive, you realize that sometimes it is to that same extent, or even worse. Sometimes the things you've done is even worse than others have done to you. But when you don't forgive, you don't learn how to forgive, you're not sensitive to that. You think that you do no harm and you do no wrong. And you always like are holding on to the bitterness as like a, I don't know, like a trophy. Like, you have the right to be a victim because this thing happened, because someone cheated on you. You have the right 20 years later to treat a person like trash, or to treat them like whatever because you don't trust them. You know what I mean? Like, you still are holding on to that hurt. You never really truly forgive and like have that unconditional love for a person in which um it's like a clean slate, you know? Like, truly, really and truly a clean slate. And when you have that clean slate for others, you learn what it's like to have a clean slate for yourself, you know? And like, yeah, because we all struggle and we all have been hurt and we all have hurt, you know? So it's literally, I don't know. It's important to forgive others, and it's also important to be forgiven. And I don't think people think about that part. Like, a lot of people don't even say sorry. You know what I mean? Like, think about how many times things have happened. Maybe you're that type of person where you never apologize for anything, you know? Like, a lot of people don't forgive because they don't feel like they need to be forgiven, which is wild. A lot of people don't forgive because they don't feel like they need to be forgiven. So, um, yeah, it's this idea of, yeah, this thing happened to me, so I have the right, I'm entitled to mistreat, or I'm entitled to not forgive. And I guess when we forgive others, you know, I'm just thinking about the prayer of our Father, forgive others as we want to be forgiven. Like, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who have trespassed against us. Like, do people even go to God and say, God, forgive me of my trespasses? Like, I'm curious. Because I feel like even in the world, like, we don't apologize. Like, there's no remorse. There's no I'm sorry. It's more like an entitlement. You know what I mean? Like, so what? This the pain happened to me. You know what I'm saying? So since pain happened to me, that person should be able to tolerate the pain that I'm dishing out. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe this should be called entitlement. We feel entitled to unforgiveness. Unforgiveness. Entitled to unforgiveness. Do you feel entitled to unforgiveness because something has happened to you in the past? Past trauma, you know? But I don't care what the harm that has been done. Like, you're never entitled to harm another or to not forgive. Yeah, and that forgiveness really is for you. Yeah. Anyway, just forgive and use it as a tool to elevate and help others to elevate. Yeah.